and welcome to this week's vlog day. So I am just out and about at the moment. I feel like I may watch this back and think, why did you press record right now, Louise, when you look somewhat tired and a bit dishevelled? But I was just like, I want to get this vlog done today. So how are you? That's the first thing. I'm not going to obviously look at the camera and the phone because I am driving right now, so I'm using this more like just a bit of a chat thing, so I can just talk about a few things while I'm recording the vlog, while obviously driving with probably the most horrendous lighting I think I could have right now. No makeup on, hair all over. This is literally how I went to bed last night, how I got up this morning. Made pancakes for Zach this morning because he wanted pancakes before school, so that's happened. He's gone off to school. It is a Tuesday today, and then Ella is at college today, so I've brought Ella over to college. You may see my hand and the steering wheel at this point because I'm just about to go around a roundabout. I've just brought Ella over to college, dropped Ella off at college, and then I've called in to see my mum. We just had a nice coffee and a catch up. And then now I'm just about to head home to go and get some work done. I've got Ella's car, so I'm in the Mini, and it's like being 17 again. It's like driving a little go-kart, which I quite like. Although it needs petrol, which is sure that's why I'm sure she said for me to take it, because it needs some petrol putting in. So I'm now going to go and put some petrol in. And yeah, today, what are we doing today? I've got a few one-to-one calls today, which I'm going to be doing around midday today, and I am going to have a shower at some point and sort my hair and face out. I don't know when that'll be. If that doesn't get sorted, then I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But yeah, a few one-to-one calls. I've got a call with a new coach that I'm working with today, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then this evening I've actually got a pole private that's going to be happening later this evening, so that is the plan for today. It's a gorgeous day outside, the sun is shining, it's just a gorgeous winter's day. I'm still getting used to the clutch on this car. There's the steering wheel again. I've had some really lovely feedback following my last 3 videos, which is a vibe. So for those of you that have reached out and messaged me, thank you, it means the absolute world. It feels very strange talking and not looking at you, but this is fine. This is like we're having a conversation in the car. There's a bag that's just flown into the middle of the road. It's not mine. It's just good to chat. So it's like you sat next to me in the car. Usually I just glance across and look at you, but you're there. So that's that. I'm probably now waffling. So yeah, I'm gonna go home, get myself sorted, get ready for my calls. And yeah, that was it. Thank you for just getting in touch and letting me know that you are so far enjoying the vlog. Obviously it's in its very early baby stages, and one of the most important things for me when doing this vlog is that it's real, it's behind the scenes, it's not edited in any way, it's not filtered in any way, it's just very raw, real, just life. That's the most important thing with this vlog. Hence why I'm here now doing this piece in my car, with my face looking like this, with my hair all over the place, with the lighting as it is, because this is real life, and I want this to be part of, if you do plug into this vlog, it's just real life, you know? Here's the steering wheel again. It's just real life, because what I've found, right, is that I have found like a few people that I love to plug into on YouTube, and I love to watch their content. And I love to watch their content because it's just like I'm sat watching a friend and catching up with a friend, like with what they're doing in their life, what they're up to, just the things that they're interested in. I find it interesting, and that reality side of things I really enjoy plugging into. And so in the creation of this channel, for my own obviously channel, my own content, is it means that you can get to know me more, I can get to know you more, obviously with any comments, any messages that you send me, and it's just a nice way I find anyway, just to relax and I find it just relaxing plugging into this type of content. So what I will say is, if there's ever anything that you'd like me to talk about, someone's broken down on the side of the road, if you'd like me to talk about anything in particular, obviously I'm a life coach. I help women with life, confidence, manifestation, online business building. If there's ever anything that you'd love me to talk about more on my vlog, then please let me know. I had someone reach out to me and say that they'd love to do something like this, but they haven't got the balls to do it, or they feel like they haven't got the guts to do it. And you know, that's something that I could talk about all the live long day. When it comes to confidence, is we've just got to do the thing. I think what holds us back, and I'm going to try not to go into coaching mode on these videos, but I said on the last video, I can't help it. We're doing another roundabout here, so here comes the steering wheel. There we go. Taking our time around the roundabout. And we're back. There we go. I think what gets in the way, and it's not what I think, it's like this is what gets in the way of you doing the things that, when you see someone doing something that you would love to do, and then you put this sort of block in the way of thinking, well, I'd love to do that, but someone like me can't do something like that. When it comes to things like social media, when it comes to something like building a personal brand, when it comes to doing a vlog, what is it that you believe about doing a personal brand, an online vlog, some sort of something where you're creating something that makes you believe that it's not good enough? What makes you think that it's not good enough? Because you'll find that you are either comparing yourself to someone else's content or creation or creativity. Not only will you be comparing yourself, one of the other factors that really holds people back from doing the things that they want to do, and especially when it comes from an online creator point of view and building a business potentially online, or just showing up doing vlogs or doing Facebook Lives or creating content in that way online, or doing a little bit here and then disappearing for ages, it's the thought, well, no one's watching, or no one really cares, or no one's going to plug into it, and who's going to give a shit, and why would people want to watch my content? And all this crap will come up in your mind, and this will stop you from doing ultimately what it is that you want to do. Whether that is doing a vlog, whether it is creating whatever it might be, whether it's starting a business, whether it's trying a new hobby, anything like that. But I find especially showing up and creating something like this vlog, for example. When I first started doing my Facebook Live challenge and I committed to a full year of going live on Facebook, a lot of my clients that I've worked with have wanted to use Facebook Live, for example, as a way of connecting and growing their audience. And one of the things that holds them back the most is believing that that they're not good enough now to show up as who they are right now. So that's one thing. They feel they've got to be better, or be doing better, or have achieved something more than they've already achieved, or show up differently, or do their hair differently, or be perfectly put together, and blah 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 blah. All these excuses that stop you from just doing the damn thing. That's the first thing. And then the other thing, as mentioned, is it's going to be like, well, who cares? Who cares? No one's going to watch my stuff. No one's going to plug into my lives. You know, when I go live, no one's watching my live videos. Roundabout. No one's going to watch my content. Who's going to plug into my stuff? Blah, blah, blah. Like, when I go live for the first time, or when I start my vlog, I'm only going to get like 2 views, or no one's going to watch it. So then you don't do it. We don't do the thing. But then we don't do the thing. It never gets done. And then it festers within, because you know deep down you're capable of doing it. And then frustration manifests within. And then you get frustrated and start to feel a bit bitter and resentful, because roundabout vibes is because everyone else seems to be doing the thing and showing up and creating content, or going live, or creating videos, or doing a vlog, or building a business, or doing what they want to do, or blah 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 blah. And yet you're still there thinking about it and overthinking it, and the frustration drives you mad. Don't think I don't know. Don't think I don't know. So my suggestion, my advice would be, is if you want to start an online business, if you want to start a blog, if you want to start a blog, if you want to do a YouTube channel, if you want to start posting more about yourself, if you want to build a personal brand, if you're building a particular business, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. You've got to start now and just know that you will never feel ready. And also, most importantly, is you are good enough as you are now. You are good enough as you are now. Nothing has to change. You don't have to be more, or you don't have to try and prove anything to anyone. You just have to be yourself. More so with a personal brand, I find, is when you are truly yourself, this is where you open up so much more freedom for yourself to create and just to show up authentically and for it to feel good. You don't want to have to think too much, depending on the brand you want to build anyway, but aesthetically for me, with me wanting to, grow my life coaching business, for example, and help women when it comes to life manifestation and confidence, me not showing up is doing a disservice to people. And what I found is because life for me can be quite hectic, obviously being an independent parent at home with the kids, running a house on my own, working, business stuff, all that other side of things, I don't necessarily have the time to, like this morning, Zach wanted pancakes. I didn't want to get out of bed half an hour earlier just to do my hair. Things like that. I'm not going to not show up because I haven't done my hair or I haven't done my makeup today. Well, I look like I do right now because, well, what are people going to think? I don't mind what people think. The corner rather than around right now. It's not about not caring what people think, because I care about people. This is something that I talk about with my clients as well. It's not about that, well, I don't care what people think. I care deeply about what people think. Not about me, but about how people think. But I don't let how people think stop me from doing the things that I want to do. And this is the main thing for you. If you want to get out there and do something, you've got to get out there and do it, knowing that not everyone's going to love it, not everyone's going to like it, not everyone's going to be like, oh my God, that was amazing. It's just you are doing this for yourself. You are doing this for you. And over time, the more you are willing to commit to showing up to the process, doing the things that you want to do, without people cheering for you, or without the, oh no, what if people say this, and you just do the thing, just do the thing, just do the thing, the results that you want to create will happen. That is my piece this morning. I am now going to go put some fuel in this car. I'll be back obviously on this vlog in a little while. Anything else I wanted to say? I think that is it for now. I'm just going to see today. I'm feeling like I just want to see what comes to mind, what I feel like talking about, because I'm just trusting the process as usual. And I will probably jump on here either when I get home or after my call with my coach this afternoon. We shall see. Okay. Fuel, and I just could not resist. They've got like Cadbury's cream eggs, mini eggs. I just had to do it. I wasn't going to, but they made me so happy. Wow. I've just got home and they're all gone already. I believe that there's a cat waiting for us right now. Let's see if he comes over. Hello, baby. Hey, come in. Come on then. She is love. The little go-kart. Quite like driving her. Oh, baby, look. Hello. Are you shouting, mummy? You come in. It's like no peasant. Come to me. Hello, angel baby. Oh, hello. Are we going inside? Come on then. Come on then. Look at his tail. Obsessed with his tail. He's got a tail like a raccoon, haven't you? Tail like a raccoon. And we're all obsessed with it. Look. So fluffy. So fluffy. Oh. Right. Back home now. Inside. This has arrived early. Yay! Do a first unwrapping of the clothes. There's some underwear in here. That's fine then. We're all friends. A bit dark. I like that way around. I'm feeling like I'm not going to get a chance to do my hair and makeup today, so this is literally today's look. Hairstyled by me throughout the night last night. Skin with H2O on there, although it doesn't look bad. There is a few little blemishes on there. As a whole, as a general, I don't actually think it looks too bad today. So, yeah, I've got my granddad's here at the moment, so he's in the garden just doing a bit of gardening. Now the weather's sort of turned from really frosty and cold to, I want to say, it's still obviously winter, so it's still fresh and it is still quite cold. We just haven't got that frost element, so the bitter wind isn't quite there anymore, which is nice. So he's come over to do some gardening and he's brought Lola with him, so I'll show you Lola and Simba because they're just looking at each other through the window. They do get on, don't you? I've got to sort this wire situation out, so that'll get sorted when it gets sorted. No drama. Hey. Lola. Hello. You're actually smaller than Simba now, aren't you? Hmm? Yes, you are. Smaller than Simba. Little girl. So, Lola. How long have we had you now, Lola? About 5 or 6 years? So we got Lola, I say we, bought Lola for the kids. I think it was in 2016. I think it was 2016 time. As a teeny weeny little puppy. She was like the size of a hamster when we bought her. The kids had always wanted a little dog, a little chihuahua, and we had Tiny the Rottweiler at the time. And we had a cat as well at the time. And I saw Lola advertised and instantly fell in love. She was the cutest little gremlin, as we call her. Little googly eyes and just big round head and just tiny little tail and cute little feet. And she was gorgeous. So anyway, it was meant to be. So bought her back in 2015-16 time, I think. I'll have to try and get some photographs. And then when we moved from the house that we were at into another property back in 2018, I think it was, the landlord said that we weren't allowed pets because we rented. And so Tiny had to go and stay with my mum and dad for a year. And Lola went to live with my granddad and grandma. And she stayed there and didn't come back. So my grandma at the time, who passed last year, she was like my granddad. She wasn't my biological grandma, but she was like a grandma to me. She passed away last year, and during lockdown, with granddad and Maureen having Lola, she's such a princess and she's such a little lapdog, and she brought just so much joy and comfort and just happiness to Maureen that we decided for Lola to stay with my granddad and with Maureen. And then we had Tiny back when we moved in this house here. So Tiny came to live with us 3 years ago again, which was amazing. We've since lost Tiny, bless him. In fact, I've got some pictures of Tiny. Let me hold. Oh, this is a card that someone sent me. So he was gorgeous. For those of you that have known me for a long time, you'll know that Tiny was a big part. There he is as well there. Big part of our lives. We had him for 10 years. So yeah, and he came to live with us, but Lola stayed with granddad, who's now in the garden, and with Maureen. And then we sadly lost Maureen last year. She was unwell. She's been unwell for quite a few years now, and we sadly lost her last year in August time last year. And since that moment, granddad's just, obviously it's been difficult for granddad because him and Maureen were together for a long time, for about 36 years, I want to say. And so Lola is now his little lifeline because she's kind of like that connection between him and Maureen. and she's still around. So he loves just looking after her. The cat's now chasing around the garden with her. He takes her everywhere, even to the pub. She goes everywhere with him. So she is his little best friend and lifeline. So when he comes around here, he brings Lola. Lola likes to chase Simba around. But yeah, she's just such a cute little dog. So that's Lola. The camera's in the tripod now. So if I stand up, it's there. So I'm like this. So, never done this before. So let's do the things. As in just opening package rather than on here. However, I've got some underwear. That's in there. You don't need to see that really. I've got 3 lots of that. It was in a sale at ASOS or ASOS, however you want to say it. I'm not quite right and I always get it wrong and the kids always pull me up on it, so whatever, it's from there anyway. But I got some French Connection underwear because it was in the sale. And looks very roomy, so just simple basics for that. And then I also bought myself a jumper, matchy. And then I've also got a dress because I bought myself some nice suede over the knee boots and I thought I want to have, at the minute I've been wearing them with jeans, but I wanted to have a dress to try them with. Now, I am not a fashionista by any stretch of the mile. I have no idea about fashion. You couldn't meet someone more clueless when it comes to fashion and trends and all that kind of stuff. I just buy stuff that I like. That's where I'm at. And this year, something that I wanted to do is start to buy just different styles of clothing, different brands of clothing. And so, the first order of the year is, clothing-wise, is some French Connection stuff. So, this is a French Connection jumper. I'm liking the stripes, and I liked the material. I liked the material on the actual jumper. So this is like short cropped jumper, which is, I thought was a vibe, and I liked the cuffs on the edge there. So I shall put this on a little bit later just to try it on because I've got a coaching call in literally 10 minutes. But I thought I'd open that up and have a look at that. So that is nice. And then the dress I got, is a wool, I think it's wool anyway, and it's a roll neck dress. So I might have to move this back a little bit to get it all in. So dress, so it's probably, I won't say short, although I don't mind short. I can put tights on it if I want. So yeah, it's that way around. So roll neck at the top, long sleeves. It's got nice cuff sleeves with it, which I quite liked. It's nice and soft. So yeah, in a bit when I've done my coaching calls, that's so out there. I just thought that would look nice. I also bought from Office as well. I got the suede over the knee boots from Office. And I also got some Diamante boots. I'm doing this because I like how they feel. So I'll show you the Diamante boots in a bit. And I'll also show you the boots that I got, and I may also try these on, we'll see. But yeah, so I thought I'd just open them with you because why not? There we go. Right, I'm going to go and get ready for my calls, and then I'll jump back on after my calls. Whether we have time to try these on, we'll see, but if not, that's a little bit of a haul that I've just bought. Hello and welcome back to the vlog. This is the following day. So I videoed yesterday. I had my poll private last night, which was really good. And I just didn't get a chance to pick up the camera and I didn't feel like picking it up either. So I thought I would pick it back up today. As you can see, I've actually done my hair today and my makeup. So I look like a different human being today. But trying out just curling. Ella got some new straighteners for her birthday. So I thought I would steal them and curl my hair today. So I've got the dress on. Is that a few bits on my dress, or is it just on the camera? I can't tell, but I've got my dress on with my boots. So I got I'm going to turn the camera around and show you in the mirror, and then I'm also going to just talk about I had my first coaching call with my coach yesterday, so I wanted to touch on a little bit about that, so I can share just where I'm at really at the moment. And then also show you something that's behind me here, which will probably make you smile or irritated, either or. So I'll turn you around and show you the dress with the shoes, And then, for lighting purposes, I've put it on the balcony. So where we live, we've got a balcony which looks out into the garden, which is more than ready for some TLC. However, the dress is here, which I love. So it's got the roll neck. And then I bought these boots from Office in the sale, just over the knee boots, which I haven't got a pair and I've always wanted some. So they were a purchase as well. It's a bit hard to show you like this. I might have to set the camera up differently. So yeah, nice soft material, boots. So this is the dress. So I thought I'd try it out today with my hair and makeup done, because it always makes such a difference, for me anyway, when I'm trying clothes on, if my hair's done and my makeup's done. So this is the dress. Very happy. So let me sit here. I just thought sparkly boots. I said I'd show you the sparkly boots. So let me just put you in this stand here, and then hopefully you know how much fun I have with these stands. It's work. Hey, there we go. It's actually the right height. It's a miracle. And I'm going to try and look at the camera, which is here. So the boots that I also got were these ones. So I do like a bit of something, a bit of sparkle and a bit of something different. So these are the boots with the slim heel, diamante. They're just a vibe. And they've just got the zip up there. So they're nice and stretchy fabric. So these are the boots that I also got. And I very much love them. So yeah, these ones, I'm one of those people where if I really like something, I'll just buy it. I'm not really into, as I mentioned on I say the vlog yesterday, but this is going to be like one vlog. Not really into fashion that much. I don't really like to follow trends. I like to just buy things that I like. And this year I want to be more intentional with some of the purchases that I buy. And I want to start to invest in just some more key pieces into sort of the clothes that I wear, because I can find that I buy a few items and then I literally wear them to death. They become my favourites, I wear them all the time, and then before I know it they're going threadbare and the material's thinning and I don't want to get rid of them, but I haven't bought anything to sort of either replace them. So I thought if I start to buy just some more, I mean these are obviously a staple wardrobe item. I had to buy them because they were so sparkly. And then obviously these suede boots as well. I don't really need to take them off. I'll leave them on. So I wanted to talk to you today about the coaching session that I had yesterday and why I've hired a coach and mentor this year, and also where I'm at. I don't have to explain this, but I just like to talk to you about these things because I know that, and I've found this by obviously running my Facebook group that I run, is by me talking about things that either I'm experiencing or things that I have experienced in the past, or the way that I felt and the way that I've overcome things in my life. It really does help other people. And I always think, you know, sharing is caring. Not too much oversharing. I can find myself sometimes oversharing, and I'm not going to apologise for it. Someone's just sent me a photo from my phone. And it looks like a good message. Vibes. So I'm going to show you something in a moment in my bedroom. Because it's a representation of where my mind has been for probably a few months now. I'd probably say from sort of November, December, leading into January time. It's just starting to calm a little bit. And this is why I wanted to talk about it on this vlog. However, the bedroom, I'm not going to turn the camera around. I'm just going to turn it sort of this way and show you. Because what I found is my environment very much reflects my internal state. So when my internal state is one of calm and groundedness and feeling in alignment and feeling good and feeling empowered to lead myself, and basically I'm aligned and empowered as my brand is all about, my environment reflects that. And I very much grew up, and as a young person and when I became a mum, I was very much a very chaotic, messy person. And I still can be a very chaotic, messy person. And what I found that actually what serves me the most is when my environment is very, not minimalistic, but it's very organised. things are that things have a specific place where they live, so that when I go to get my keys, for example, or my shoes or my coat or just anything, I know where things live. They are, because they've got a specific place of where they live. So being more organized is something that I've worked on in my life for many years. And as much as I will say that I can thrive in chaos, which I can, but I don't particularly like it. It doesn't serve me to be chaotic in here and in my environment. And what I can find is when I'm going through times of stress or when I've had a lot to deal with, it impacts me internally in terms of how I think and how I feel. And then that then overflows into my environment. And then when I'm trying to take steps to improve how I'm thinking and feeling about something, or when I'm taking steps to achieve something external to me, which might be something in business or a personal achievement or something like that, if I take a look at my environment around me and it is all over the place, that is how I am internally, and it doesn't support how I want to think, feel, act and be. So that's the first thing. So I want to show you my environment at the moment, and then I'm going to talk to you about obviously my coaching session yesterday and what I'm going to be working on this year. Right, so let's do the things. So this is currently my vibe. So that is how my head and my internal thoughts have been for a while. And I'm not ashamed to show you this at all, because this is, this is where I've been. This is where I've been at for the last few months, and it's also, it makes total sense to me why things are out of alignment for me at the moment. And the coach that I've started to work with we're specifically going to be working on nervous system regulation, because going through last year, I had so many stressful situations and scenarios last year that were a lot to deal with. And I'm someone who can identify as being very strong, very put together. I can get on with things. I can also be a complete hot mess, all over the place, all that kind of stuff. However, stress upon stress upon stress, I can handle a lot. Being a single parent, I've got 3 kids, 2 of them are teenagers, one's about to go into teenage years soon, and that in itself can be stressful. But with other situations that I've had happening in my life, we had to potentially move house last year. That was a big stress. So much last year just caused that much stress to the point where it really impacted me on a primal level, which means that my nervous system just went into complete dysregulation. Now, some of the conversations I might have on my vlog, you might be like, what on earth are you talking about? And you will get to learn more about the topics that I'm passionate about, the coaching that I do, the sort of things that I love to learn about, I love to talk about. But when I'm out of alignment, this is the result: chaos. And the thing is, I can deal with chaos, and I can actually thrive to a degree in chaos. It doesn't completely send me out of kilter. However, things will get to a certain point for me where, and especially so for me last year, it got to maybe September, October time last year. And then sort of going into the end of last year, I've never experienced mental health disruption like I did last year. And I understand completely why. We had a death in the family last year. A very close member of our family passed away. So I was talking about Maureen on, obviously, the vlog yesterday, and we're running into today. Maureen passed away last August. I was actually there and present when she passed. And it's the first time ever in my life that obviously I've ever seen anyone pass away, which is traumatic enough. Although saying that, the way in which she passed, as upsetting as it was very peaceful how she passed in the moment. And I'm also very grateful that I was there with my granddad, because my granddad was there by her bedside. I was there by her bedside. And I was so pleased that I was there for him in that moment, and that other members of the family didn't have to experience that moment, and that he wasn't on his own. And actually, the way in which she did pass was very peaceful. It was very, in a way, angelic in terms of just the whole experience of her passing. Of course, it was deeply sad. It was very upsetting in the moment. And I hope that this doesn't bring up anything for anyone. But this was my experience last year. But the way in which she did pass was just, it was a strange time. But also, there's been the impact of her loss in the family on all of us, but particularly my granddad, who's 90. So there's been that transition last year. Obviously, the moving house situation, dealing with teenagers, building a business, all the things, as well as obviously my own personal situation with my partner last year, with his situation, our situation that we're dealing with. And it got towards the end of the year, and my body was in a state of dysregulation. And I knew this going into the end of the year, but I wasn't in a position to be able to, and as I'm talking about this, a white feather's just flown down. I wasn't in a position last year to be able to invest in the coaching and mentoring that I really wanted. And so going into this year, I thought to myself, right, once we're into January, and once the decision that I've been waiting for myself and my partner, we've been waiting for a decision for a very long, long time. And I know on one of the vlogs I shared that we'd got the decision and it felt amazing, and it does. However, that hasn't just suddenly overnight changed my primal state and the way that my body feels and is. Because of the levels of stress that I've had, I've been in dysregulation of my nervous system for quite some time. I'd say at least 6 months of last year, I was completely out. The first 6 months of the year was dealing with the stress and things happening, and going into the back end of the year, I could really feel it. I could really tell. My mindset wasn't where I like it to be. I was feeling very overwhelmed. I was feeling very fatigued, and I like to have energy. I can have big bursts of energy, and love feeling positive, love feeling empowered, love feeling all those things, love having like fun and joy and passion and being creative and bringing all that to my brand and my business, and that just wasn't there. And what happens is, when I'm out of creativity, and you may find this as well, when I'm out of creativity, when I'm not able to access joy, when I'm not able to feel passionate about things, and I don't always feel positive, when I'm starting to feel bogged down or overwhelmed or tired, and the energy levels aren't there and things are getting to me and my environment is spilling over, what I found towards the end of last year is that it was impacting my sleep. I was starting to just experience bouts of anxiety, which I've never really experienced before to the level that I did last year. You know, there's level of nerves that I've experienced in my life where, you know, talking on stages and doing big presentations and leading trainings and doing those kinds of things, and obviously leading my business on online and doing videos and stuff, has a level of nervous energy in the body when we're going to do something that is outside of our comfort zone. But experiencing anxiety on the level that I did last year due to stress was something that I've never experienced to the degree that I did. And what I mean by that is it impacted all the different areas in my life that are foundational to me being a healthy human being. And that meant for me, it impacted my sleep, it impacted my nutrition, it impacted my energy levels and how I felt. It impacted my ability when it came to exercising and actually enjoying exercise. I found myself like going to the gym and just not enjoying it. And I thought, even things like going for a walk, my mindset started to just not be right. I started to have doubts. I started to experience fears. Like all these different things came up for me. And that's not a representation of me and who I am. And if you're going through something similar, it's not a representation of you and who you are. It's an experience of the stress that you are potentially under or have been under for some time. The build-up of that and the way that our nervous systems are designed to regulate themselves healthily. When I sat down with my coach yesterday, I was like, I know that I am dysregulated. Like, I know this, and I want to work with someone who has the knowledge, the understanding, the compassion to be able to help me with this, and to be able to, someone that I'm able to trust with this, because there's still some things in my life that I haven't fully discussed at a level, like at a really deep level, because, you know, it's either close to my heart or it's just something I don't want to talk about or whatever it might be. And I know that this year, for where I ended the year last year and how I felt, I know for me what is going to serve me this year. And also with now having an extended rental contract on our house makes the world of difference, which means we're contracted in until the end of 2024, which is like, you know, there's nothing more stressful than trying to find somewhere to live with 3 kids and you've not got long to do so. So, you know, just having that, knowing that we're going to be here for some time, at least another 18 months, if not a bit longer actually, is very grounding. So that's the first thing. So I'm like, tick that box. Obviously, with me having my creativity and my passion and my enthusiasm for everything and everything last year dipping, that impacted me showing up in my business to my full capacity. It meant that I wasn't launching programs like I was before. I didn't feel like fully showing up and selling with joy and all the things that I really do usually enjoy, which then had a knock-on effect financially for me. So the strain started to come in towards the end of the year there, which is never good. And obviously with myself and my partner Tony's situation, we were waiting for just really important news for our situation there, for him to be finally out. And obviously with us as a family, that information and that decision dropped through in January. So I'm like, another tick. Teenagers, obviously working on that. One of them is now driving, has a job, is getting on with things, is very happy, confident. And the other 2 are going through the motions of being a teenager and exploring things and the world and themselves and figuring things out and being very moody and hormonal and all the kind of things. But they're both very good kids. All my kids are very good kids. As you know, though, kids can just be a handful at times. And what I find is navigating everybody's energy, navigating everybody's emotions on a day-to-day sometimes can be challenging as it is. Me going into last year and like the last 6 months feeling very dysregulated and all over the place and experiencing bouts of anxiety and very low mood and sort of mild depression and that kind of feeling, and also showing up to do the things like the basics, I found it very, very difficult last year. And some of people might watch this vlog and think, it didn't come across online that was the case, or how do you keep showing up, how do you keep running your coaching business, how do you do the things, how do you do the and I'm like, I will always do what I've got to do in terms of the basics to get by. And I said this to my coach yesterday, I'm like, there are certain things and responsibilities that I have in my life that I will not let go of. Even showing up on social media, you know, my brand and my business is so important to me. It's so important to me. I will never let that go. I will never not show up on social media. I will never not create content. I will never just unplug and disappear off the face of the planet because I'm too connected and I'm so many years into this, and it's just something that this is an extension of me and who I am. And I know that by me showing up and doing the work that I do, it helps other people, and that feeds my fire and my soul. So I am feeling at the moment very grateful for everything that I've got in my life at the moment. It's been somewhat going through the back end of last year, feeling somewhat all over the place, experiencing like my anxiety last year was because my body wasn't getting rid of or shifting the stress. I've got so many notifications popping up, it's really annoying. The levels of stress that I was experiencing, because I wasn't able to release that in a way, I was just holding too much of that stress. What I found was I was being woken up in the night, having like anxiety attacks in the night. I would be asleep, and then all of a sudden I would suddenly wake up and my heart would be racing in my chest. I'd be in a panic state. I'd be like, and I'd have racing thoughts like going really fast through my mind, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, and it'd take me a while to calm my body down and then to get back to sleep. And then that impacted me feeling then tired. And then I would find that then I'd find it really hard to fall asleep at night, because I'd think, well, if I go to bed too early, I wake up anyway in the middle of the night, I have these attacks, and then I'm wide awake, and then it's impacting me anyway, so I'm tired, so I may as well wait and go to bed at like really, really late, so I'm absolutely exhausted, and then my body's going to rest overnight. And so then that's when I was tired, that sort of impacted my eating habits, because I can be an emotional eater. That's my sort of go-to, is to not prepare food. Oh my God, the cycle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And maybe you identify with some of this, I don't know. But if you're in a state of stress, this is what can happen. This is what can happen. And then what can happen when we're in a state of stress and all the things seem to be going a bit wrong is we then put pressure on ourselves because we're not doing the things we know we're capable of doing, and things seem to be going to shit. And no matter what we do, we can't seem to break the cycle. And the reason I know this is because I'm this person. I can put so much pressure on myself. And the coaching call that I had with my clients last week, we have a group coaching Zoom call every month. So every month we get together on a group Zoom, and we check in. How are you doing? Where are you at? We have a coaching element that we've covered in the month, and we'll discuss that coaching element. What are the lessons that you've learned? Reflections. And some of them are really celebrating January. They've had an absolutely amazing month. Some of them have had a really tough January, and we discuss all the things. And one of the things that came through, and what was interesting, is I think I'd been out somewhere, I can't remember where I'd been, but I was driving home anyway, just before the coaching call. And as I was driving into the village where we live, I'm very much open to sort of messages and things and intuition coming through. And a message came through loud and clear to me, which was, stop being so hard on yourself. Take the pressure off, just stop being so hard on yourself. You're doing really well. Under all the circumstances that you've been under, after everything that's happened, you are doing so well, and you don't need to be as hard on yourself as you are. And I was like, message received loud and clear. Loud and clear. So maybe you need to hear this message today. It's something I have to remind myself of regularly. Stop putting pressure on yourself, unnecessary pressure. Stop being hard on yourself. You're doing better than you think. Even if your bedroom's a tip, right? This is going to get sorted later today, and I feel good about it. The fact my hair's done, I mean, you saw me yesterday. Yesterday I was determined to do my vlog, and today I was like, I want to do my hair with the straighteners and see where we go, and I'm really pleased with my hair. Anyway, so as I pulled into the drive, I got on my group coaching call, and we sat, a cup of tea, and we went through all the things. And at the end, when we did sort of reflection time, I asked my clients what would be one thing that they want to say to themselves. And all of them just said, stop being so hard on myself. Stop being so hard on myself. And I was like, that's a vibe. So that was the message. And so following that, having the decision that we received, me and my partner, this month, going through into February, feeling somewhat more balanced than I have, but even I've got the hangover of having dysregulation in my body. I want to work this year on, obviously, my nervous system regulation, on my health, my foundations, my mental health, my well-being, nutrition, all those things that I know are the foundations for me creating like success in my life, success in my personal life and in my business. I know that when those foundations are off, I can't build anything sustainable from that place. And I also didn't want to do that on my own. I know obviously the value of coaching. I know the importance of it. And so the person who I wanted to invest in was someone who I've been connected with probably for the last at least 6 months, if not a year. I'm very, very, I want to say picky in who I invest in, because I'm going to be talking to this person about a lot of personal things. And so for me, I cannot just pick a coach who it just pops out of the ether. Especially as a one-to-one coach, it has to be someone for me that I've had that connection with, I've maybe done some work with before in terms of done some programs with them, or I've accessed some of their content and their work before. I have had a call with this person, I think it was last year, I want to say maybe August, September time last year. And then I knew that I wanted to work with her in some capacity. And so when the timing was right, when finances were right, when the time was aligned, then I was going to invest. And so here we are. So our first session was yesterday. I also know, and this is something that I wanted to share with you if you are wanting to make changes this year, is that when we've been in a state of, and you may be in an amazing place right now, which is incredible. So I'm celebrating you and enjoy the process. Enjoy, do the things. If you have been in a state of stress, or if you have been feeling a little bit down, a little bit overwhelmed, maybe your mental health isn't as aligned as you like it to be, maybe you're not feeling positive, maybe things have happened that have caused you to just be just a bit all over the place, maybe you have been experiencing anxiety or just that dysregulation of just not feeling grounded. And that has impacted your creativity and your passion and your drive and your purpose. And it's caused you to feel potentially frustrated or a little resentful or bitter or down or just annoyed or whatever it might be. You've had all these misaligned feelings that you don't like. What I will say is things don't change overnight. And in terms of changing your state, when you have been in a state of being for a little while, we are, as humans, we want things to change overnight. We want that relief of feeling better. We want to go from like feeling like shit to like, oh, I want to feel amazing and I want to feel all the things. And it's understanding that when we have reached a certain place or when we've dealt with a lot that has caused us to be where we are right now, it's being accepting of where we are now with compassion. And this is something I'm working on too, with compassion for where we are now. And then understanding that when we take the steps to create the life that we want, or to feel differently, or to work on ourselves, or create a business, whatever it might be, the results will come when they come. Things will change when they change. And while we're putting pressure on ourselves to go from naught to like, oh my God, life changed, that in itself keeps us in the cycle of where we are. Because we're seeking something that we feel isn't accessible to us yet, or we're being impatient with the thing that we want, and so we're focusing so much on the lack of the thing that we don't have. And so for me now, doing this work when it comes to nervous system regulation, I've already sort of naturally started the process going into the beginning of this year, and it's something that I've discussed with my clients in my coaching experience. So my clients in there, I'm always in there every single week coaching and talking about either different experiences anyway and things that I learn within that space. And one of the things I always say to them is in January being sort of a reset and like reflecting on what is working and what isn't working for us on a foundation level. You know, I shared with them how I recognised things that were completely out of alignment and actually things that I could start to take steps to make improvements, just small, simple steps that I was not doing that I could do. And so when I had my coaching session yesterday, my coach was just like, you know, you're doing some of the things and going in the right direction, and which is good. And now we're going to work on making that even better. And this isn't going to be like all of a sudden overnight things have changed. No, there's this residual energy shift of sort of freeing from one experience to the other, but by taking those small steps. And for me, it's just simple things, a few simple things, and I'll share a few of them on this vlog, in the hope that you may also identify with some of these and think, oh, well, I'm going to work on those too. One of them for me is going to bed. Something so simple, going to bed. When I'm stressed, sometimes when I'm stressed and when I've got a lot going on, that impacts me going to sleep, because I'll push myself to like absolute exhaustion or depletion before I go to bed, and that doesn't serve me or anyone, because I'm then tired forever. But also on the other end of the spectrum is when I am running on adrenaline, when I'm excited, when I am launching something, when I'm like like this and it's all exciting, sleep goes out the window then too. So at both ends of the scale, sleep is compromised at both ends of the scale. But when I compromise this for a long period of time, it impacts my foundational well-being. And my foundational well-being, and yours as well, is the foundation on which everything else is built. And so I have to be mindful of getting that good sleep. And this can be something that I have so many bad habits with, and this is something that I've got to work on. So yesterday we talked about obviously sleep and my sleep patterns, and my coach asked me, you know, how is the anxiety through the night? And something that's helped me stop having anxiety through the night, because I'm now sleeping through. Last night I had 10.5 hours sleep. Pray to the Lord, right? I had 10.5 hours sleep and I got a lie-in. I got a lie-in thanks to the teacher striking today, so it's not the best situation or scenario for it, but I'm still grateful. And I'm doing a meditation practice for 15 minutes, a guided one, as I get into bed. And then I'm playing some meditation music, or is it theta? Wave music. Basically, it just sounds like it's raining in my bedroom all night, or the sea waves crashing, or there's just some sort of white noise happening in the background, so that my brain isn't going all night. My brain is listening to the sound of rainforest or just white noise of some description, and it's plugged into that noise, and so it sort of streamlines my thoughts. Because another thing that I found when I was very stressed and I was in that state was I was experiencing nightmares as well as the anxiety. It wasn't a vibe at all. And so this is really helping me, is the meditation before bed, and then also the noise through the night. The kids are probably like, it's raining in a bedroom again. But that's what is serving me at the moment. And it's helping me get a more restful night's sleep. I just want to work now on my evening routine and my evening habits, because I can find, and you may do this, I can find that I can scroll a little too much at night. So if I pick my phone up and I think, oh, I'll just have a little look at something, or I sometimes feel creative at night, I will pick my phone up at night and start to create something, and before you know it, I'm writing a post, I'm writing something else, I'm creating content for something, and then it's like 11:30 and I'm like, oh, and then it takes me ages to get to sleep. This is the work for me at the moment, is that, because I want to work on this nervous system regulation like a queen. So that is what's happening. So that's what I'm working on. So I just wanted to jump on and share that with you. The light's starting to go now outside, so I can see it's getting a little bit dull now in here. Also, I fake tanned. I forgot to mention, yesterday I was very pale. Today I fake tanned. So we've gone for the whole beauty thing of hair, fake tan, makeup on. Feel like a human again. It feels good. But this is the week for me. So I thought I'd share it on the vlog. If it's helped you in some way, please do let me know. If there's anything that I've said that you identify with, then reach out to me and let me know. If you want to put it in the comments, please do pop it in the comments, because I do go through and read the comments. If you want to reach out to me on social media, then please do reach out to me on social media. You can message me. Obviously, I'm Fully Aligned and Empowered Woman on Instagram, and I'm also Louise Elizabeth Blood on Facebook. Make sure that you request to follow me on there, on my Instagram. You can DM me if you'd like to. Anything else? If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, then please do subscribe to this channel. If you have watched this and you have enjoyed the last 4 weeks of content and you found it to be beneficial, helpful, inspiring, then share it. That's what I'm going to ask. Share it, or tell a friend about it. You know, if you've got someone in your life who you think would benefit from life coaching, from mindset work, maybe they're having a few struggles when it comes to mental health, maybe they have a dysregulated nervous system like me, maybe they're going through a stressful time right now. I sometimes have people reach out to me who have either gone through stress or that have maybe split up with their partner for so many years, and you know, they're recently divorced or become a single mom or something like that, and they're looking for something to help them because of where they're at or how they're feeling. Plug them into this channel. Plug them into this channel. So first thing I'll say to people, I had someone message me last week saying, can you speak to my friend? You know, she's feeling, you know, really low at the moment. She's gone through this experience. And the first thing I said was, connect with me on all my platforms and make sure that you're in my free group on Facebook, because there is a whole probably 1.5 years worth of videos and content and everything in there. And I do from time to time go live in there as well. So if you are at that place, then, you know, recommend that group to them. Get them to follow me on Facebook. Get them to subscribe to this channel, because I will be dropping a video every single week on here forever. It's my channel. This is my channel, and this was the purpose for my channel. I had a vision about running this channel, and I'm going to do an independent video on this topic. Whether I do it next week, I'm going to see what the vibe is, but I want to share with you some of the visualizations that I've had for my YouTube channel, for my platform, for my media, because there's been certain things that have sort of presented themselves to me and I've had visualizations about when it comes to the content that I put out on my platforms. And specifically YouTube was one of them, where there's just a few pieces and a few videos that are really close to my heart and really profound, and that I really want to put out there for people, from a place of service, from a place of just offering people either light or hope or things to bear in mind or wisdom, lessons, that kind of thing. So it's not always going to be me waffling on or driving in the car doing things, even though that will be part of my vlog. Some of my videos that I put out are going to be service-based content, where just because of the visualizations I've had, it'll make sense when I do the videos. I'm not going to share it on this one because I don't want this to be too long, and it's already 34 minutes into this video, so I wasn't planning on this being a TED Talk, but here we are. Once I get going and talking to you, I just like to have these conversations. So I'm going to wrap up the vlog there. So thank you for plugging in. As I've said, connect with me on the socials, subscribe to this channel, tell people about it if you've enjoyed it. I'm excited to see where this platform grows, especially here on YouTube, because I'm very new to it. YouTube. There we go. Can't get my words around my mouth around my words, all the tongue, all things. Right. I'm going to go and have a nice cup of tea now, looking all glam, and have a nice relaxing evening. I may have a coaching call tonight. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I'll have to check my diary. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm also going to clean my bedroom because I'm feeling in the vibe. So I want to get this environment cleared and sorted, everything organised and put away, just so it feels more calm. So then it helps support and represent and all the things. So that's the plan. So have a lovely rest of your day and week, and I'll see and speak to you on the next vlog. Bye.